This is a review of JoannaWriting.com's WordPress build on how to make a new post. So I'm at the domain name right now, and you log into WordPress always go by going to wp-admin. That's just kind of the secret link. And then I'm going to put in my username. Mine is Craig at Code Team Blue. And then you need a pretty secure password. So I'm just going to copy and paste mine out of my password document. You can also say remember me. Log in. And this takes you to the WordPress dashboard. You can kind of hide some of the notifications as they pop up. That one always airs out, it just sits there. Anyway, if you need to make a new blog post, they're all located in posts. We'll hit all posts. You can see them all in here. I have a test post that I made for making this video. I'm going to go ahead and trash it. You can add a post by hitting this button right here or in the menu on the left. We're going to add post. Give it a title. And everywhere in WordPress you can kind of collapse these accordions and uncollapse them to get a set of options. And the other sections of this page are this plus button right here, brings up all the different types of blocks that you can put into a page. And you can either drag or drop them from over here, or you can also hit this plus button to bring up a list of the most commonly used ones, and you can also search for them. So we're going to do my first heading, and we're going to change this from a paragraph to a heading block. And then this is the H2. It's kind of the biggest heading of the page typically. You can also just start typing in now. The default is a paragraph block. We'll do a second heading. Change it to a heading, and we'll select heading 4, which is our cursive heading. Alright, you can also copy and paste content out of Word documents in here, and it'll try to format it the best it can with regards to headings and paragraphs. And the third content block that is used frequently is a list. So let's do we'll search for list here. Do a list. Make bullet lists like that. And then the final content piece that is typically used are images. So let's go ahead and put an image in the content of this page. We're going to select image. And then this brings up the image block where you go select it from the media library. You can also just drag and drop an image directly in here, but I usually go to the media library. You could select an existing image that's already uploaded, or you hit upload files, and then you can select them from your computer. So we'll do this one. You can also drag and drop them, and it takes a little while for them to upload, usually 20-30 seconds, something like that. You can see the progress bar. Sometimes it'll get stuck right at the end, and it will upload. You just have to close this down and reopen it, and you'll see it. We'll see if this is a pretty big file. We'll see if it... There we go. Alright, now we got our file. This is our file name. That's how big it is in kilobytes. This is 500K, about half a meg. It's about as big as you want to make it from a file size standpoint. This is the resolution. It's 1900 pixels wide by 2500 pixels tall. That's definitely at the very end of the range of how big of a file you want to upload. So we're just going to select it. And then there it is. You can also kind of size them within the page. This does not decrease the size of the image itself, or the display of it, so it's best to try to size them properly before you upload them into WordPress. And that's kind of our page here. Now there's two types of images too. Now, we have all our different content blocks over here. On the right hand side, we have the information about the actual post and the block, and sometimes this will get turned off, or you turn it back on by hitting that settings toggle, and you can go between the settings of the page or the settings of the block right here. So let's go, if we highlight this block, we can get the settings of the block over here too. You can also usually find them sometimes in here, but for more of you get more settings on this side. Here we need to put an alt text in. And usually describe the image in your alt text. Alright, we'll go back into the settings of the post here. Every blog post also has a special image assigned to it that is the featured image. So we're going to set this featured image. We're going to select our cat, set featured image, and then we're going to also select a category. Pretty much everything goes into blogs. And if you had other kind of subcategories to filter things, you could, we'll say this is a kids article too. From here, we can either save draft or publish. If we save draft, we can take a look at it and it won't be on the website. So let's do that first. Saving. All right, now we can view our post, and you can see the featured image is here at the top, and here's the rest of our content. So we're going to go back in here, and here I'll show you this too. Now if we go to the home page, see it's not loaded in our list of blog posts yet, nor is it here either. If we hit publish, now, because it's the most recent article, it shows at the top of the list. All right, we're going to go back in here, back to the dashboard, trash this article again. And that is how you make new blog posts within the WordPress backend admin. The posts, you can also make categories. You can make your own categories in here. Add category. So that's now you see that we have 46 in blog posts and none in the others because we just trashed the kids article. You go to all posts. You can also do a quick edit where you do a few things in here, not the content. So we could now add it to writing tips if we wanted to. These are all the blog posts. There's two different types of pages within WordPress. There's the posts, which are kind of a special reserved type of page for your blog. And pages like the home page, the About Us page, they're in pages. And they work pretty close to the same with a couple minor differences. So let's go edit the home page real quick. So here we have one major difference is I put some columns in. Here we go. If you hit that button right there, it brings up kind of what they call the skeleton of the page. So you can see the different columns I built in here, but you can go in and kind of change content as needed. The other major difference in a blog post and our full width pages, under theme options, if you make a new page, we're typically turning off the sidebar. And by default, when you make a new page, this will be set to the right, and I've just been hiding them. And you don't always need to set a featured image for a page. That's usually more necessary for an actual blog post. So that is the quick overview of how you make new blog posts and content within WordPress. And I'll make another video here in a minute that goes through the rest of the WordPress build.